welcome back to another episode of Marty's Menitations. I hope you liked the new music. I know I didn't bring it up last episode. Some of you might have been like, "Oh, what is Marty doing here? What is this? Am I listening to Marty's Menitations or am I listening to some other show? You know, what am I doing? Is this Marty's Menitations? I'm not sure." Don't worry, everybody. This is Marty's Menitations. I just wanted to play with some new intro music, you know? Really find a new energy for the show. I don't know, ever since that episode about the mind, I just thought about, you know, what kind of music would get us into the mind to be more self-reflective. Turn our consciousness in on itself so we find that self-knowledge, right? So I made this music I feel like it helps, it just came to me. This music just came to me and I threw it together. I hope you enjoy it. I have titled it The Wizard King on the Mountain Seeking the Fairy Queen. I felt like that was a very fitting title. It's a very fitting title. So last episode, we discussed emotional baggage. It was a big episode. It's very important. It's a first step in a series of episodes because we need to understand the emotional baggage in order to build on the next thing, right? Marty's Meditations isn't just, I pop in and I see what's going on and then I leave. No, it's like a ladder. It's a ladder of enlightenment. We figure out this thing and then we go on to the next thing. We build on things. The quest for self-knowledge doesn't plateau. You have to keep going deeper and deeper to places that are scary, right? Scary places. We haven't really gone to scary places here yet. We kind of danced around some topics. We kind of tiptoed on the shore, but we didn't really dive into the depths, right? And we're gonna do that, but I need to lay down this foundation for this journey. I have to do that. So last episode we talked about the emotional baggage. We unpacked a lot of that. I hope you all discovered a little something about yourselves. I hope you found something in that baggage. I hope you got rid of some stuff. You got rid of the clutter in there. Maybe you took a bath that night and you wept uncontrollably. Good. I hope you let it out. Maybe you went to your boxing class and you really punched it out, Hopefully the other person was wearing gear or you were hitting a bag. I really hope you didn't hurt anybody. And that's what I want to say more than anything is the idea of the emotional baggage and dealing with the emotional baggage is so that you don't hurt anybody. It's so that your emotional life doesn't scar anyone else. So I hope when you went to that boxing class, what you were practicing against someone big and who could take the hits, But I hope you did that. I hope you let it out. I hope you let it go. And I hope you rolled around on the floor and laughed like a crazy person, like a lunatic for 5 minutes. Right? Because you pushed down so much joy over the years. Don't feel guilty for laughing hysterically. That's great. That's great. Good for you. You did it. You went there. Isn't it crazy that we can feel that much joy? We can feel that much joy. We could be that happy. Where people go, this person's going insane. Should we call a doctor? Should we notify somebody that this person is laughing hysterically? We're so afraid of it. The world is so afraid of people that are just so full of joy. They always go, oh, that's a crazy person. That's a crazy person. Or they're a child. Only children feel that much joy. If you're a man, if you're an adult man and you feel that much joy, you must be crazy. I disagree because I wonder, when do we get rid of that childlike joy? When do we get rid of the little boy? Where's your little boy? Is your little boy still there? Is he inside you? Because if your little boy's there, it's time to have a conversation with him. When was the last time you talked to your little boy? Because, when do we think that we've grown up into men? When do we think that happens? When we stop being a boy and start being a man? What are the signs? Is it when your testicles drop and you start producing semen? Start growing body hair, and your voice gets lower and deeper? Is that when it happens? I didn't feel like a man then. I felt awkward. I felt awkward and weird. I didn't feel like a man. Is it when you have your first sexual experience? You slip your lingam into somebody that you have feelings for, and they take it and you go, wow, I'm a man. I didn't feel like a man then. I felt weird and awkward. Very strange. Very uncomfortable. I didn't feel like a man then. It's when you leave the house and say, fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Dad. I don't want to be here anymore. You're holding me back. And you go out there and you hit the town and you get a job and you start supporting yourself. I didn't feel like a man then. I felt weird and awkward. When does it happen? When do you go, I'm not a little boy. I'm a man now. And what happens to the little boy when you decide that? I don't think he goes away. And speaking of emotional baggage, where do you think it starts? It starts when you're a little boy. I mean, when you're a little boy, when you're open and receptive and compassionate and curious, you get to feel and experience emotions for a while, and then bam, it's time to stop feeling. You can't feel anymore. You have to be a man. So then that spiritual transition to manhood is hindered. It's held back. You can't be a man until you've dealt with the little boy feelings. And you learn so much when you were a little boy. You pick up a lot of knowledge when you're young, and you're curious, and you're compassionate. That's the thing is when we were little boys, we would go to the playground and we'd find other little boys and we'd go, hey, do you want to play? And you'd play with each other and you just learn about each other through playing. It's like, whoa, you learned through play. That's how they learned. That's why school is clearly just a brainwashing technique, because they try to hammer out the fun of learning. When you're a little boy and you're out there and you're in the woods, you're learning so much. You're playing with other people, you're communicating with other people because you're curious about them. You learn so much, but then you go to school. You go to school and they put books in front of you and they go, read it. Read it. And they go, it's about Jesus. It's about Jesus, and you need to learn about Jesus. Because he loves you, but if you don't love him, you'll burn in hell. Right? That's school. They're designed to make you less curious and less compassionate. Because the government's in control of the schools, and they're just okay. I'm getting a little bit off track. I'm sorry. So little boys, right? Little boys at school, little boys in life just playing and learning, right? And so I wanna help you find your little boy again. Where'd he go? What journey did he take? Did he get scared and run away and find a cave and live his life in this cave and befriend a bunch of bears and wolves? Is that what happened? Did your little boy go out into the woods? Did little Marty go out into the woods and start a little fire, find a plot of land and go, yeah, I'm going to live here. Start building a little house, this beautiful wood house. He decorated with plants inside and cover the entire house with moss. So it's nice, like a green, like little hovel for like a hobbit. Is that what little Marty did? Did he dig a little pool in the backyard and fill it with river water? But it was loaded with bacteria, so he got sick and he died. And now there's no more little Marty? What if there's no more little Marty? What if there's no more little you? What are you gonna do? What if you're just lost? What if you're lost in the void of manhood? You're so caught on the ideals of manhood and the necessities. You're just so bogged down with responsibility, and you've repressed so much of your emotion that you'll never get your little boy back again. What if that happened? Or maybe your little you just stayed at your parents' house, right? He was too afraid to leave. When the man leaves, he doesn't leave the little boy. You gotta reach out, take him by the hand and go, it's okay. You're coming with me. I need you there. And maybe he looks up and he goes, but I'm so scared to go. You don't need me. I'm fine with mom and dad. Or just mom. Or just dad. or Grandma, or Uncle Joe, or Auntie Sue. Whoever raised you. You don't want to be afraid to leave them. You gotta reach your hand out. You gotta look them in the eyes and you gotta go, grab my hand, little me. We're gonna do this together. 'Cause I need you. I need you, little buddy. I need your curiosity and your compassion. I need your readiness to play. 'Cause I want to go out there in the playground with my business suit on. I want to get in the sand and start, making a sand castle. But I can't do that anymore because I will get arrested again. Because I'm trying to find my little boy, and play with the other little boys. And a bunch of men had to ruin that. A bunch of men had to ruin that possibility because they're gross and weird. But this little boy, this little Marty just wants to go out there and make a sandcastle. And I can't have kids of my own. So why can't I just play with the little boys on the playground? But that's okay. That's why there should be adult sandboxes. For big boys. The big boy sandbox. The big boy sandbox. So where's your little boy? That's what today's meditation is going to be about. It's your little boy. Finding that little boy. We have to find our little boys. And just find a way to reconnect with what we already have. But we've sheltered. We've put away. Maybe we've sheltered it. Maybe we've imprisoned him. Maybe we sent him on a trip. Maybe we sent him to the farm, right? Sent him to the ranch. Maybe we went down south. Maybe we went over the ocean. Maybe he took a rocket to space. Maybe your little boy just got fed up. He was calling to you. He was going, Big boy Marty, big boy Marty. Hello, and big boy Marty is just avoiding him and just doesn't even hear him. And so little boy Marty just goes, you know what? Forget this. I don't have time to deal with big boy Marty anymore. I gotta go be me, and he's not gonna get any of this. He's not gonna get it. So yeah, you need that little boy. You need a little boy balance. And that's why I think you need to find your little boy. We have to find our little boy. And I think we have to communicate with it in the way that it would understand, right? With the monkey, we got into that big, messy mud fight, right? That's what monkeys get. Monkeys get that. But what does the little boy get? What games do little boys play? And what more fitting of a game to play than finding your little boy than hide and seek? Marty, you're a genius. I know. See, this is the thing is it's also practice, right? It's also, I get to experiment with this muscle all the time. This muscle of creating a meditation environment. And I'm really good at it. Because this is the work that goes into being a guru and a spiritual guide. Is we have to learn the games that we play, right? And translate them. And then we can enter the time, spirit, space and interact with all the entities there and bring it back. And I helped you do that. Hide and seek. Who doesn't know how to play hide and seek? The instructions are in the title. You hide and then you seek. And it's so interesting. It's very metaphorical for all of life. Are you hiding or are you seeking? Right? What part do you play? Do you switch? Do you go off and on? What are you seeking? What are you hiding from? Those are really big questions about our lives, especially as men, right? Hide and seek. So I want you to close your eyes, as long as you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, as always. As always. And I want you to just breathe. And we're going to play a little game of hide and seek. So your eyes are closed and you're breathing. You breathe in, breathe out, right? Your mind's eye, I want you to imagine that you open your eyes You're in this big forest. This lovely forest. It's huge, right? We've been to the forest before. But this is a different forest. This is the forest of your childhood. Your childhood dreams, right? Your imagination. A world you've created on your own, right? And you've made this place. Ready or not, here I come. You know? You take your hands off of your eyes and you start going through the forest to find your little self. You know, and you can feel the grass underneath your feet. You're barefoot. You're brushing up against shrubs. And you touch the tree here. And you're just looking for you. This is a great journey to help you find yourself. Your young self. Your younger self. The small you. The little you. You start walking through this forest. And you're walking for a long time. And you can't seem to find yourself. It's a very large forest. And you remember this forest from your childhood, but you don't know where you would hide. You don't know where little you would hide. That's how far removed you are from your young self. And so you're walking through the forest and you come across a squirrel, and it's Sam the squirrel. Sam the squirrel from your childhood. You remember he was one of your favorite imaginary friends. You go, Sam, do you remember me? Sam looks at you and he goes, no, I don't think I reckon seeing you around here, around these parts. And you go, Sam, it's me, it's Marty. But I grew up, I'm older now. He goes, well, I don't think that Marty would grow up into this kind of grown-up. I don't think Marty would grow up into this kind of man. And you take that offensively. What does that even mean? What is Sam the squirrel saying? And so you push that aside, you go, Sam, I'm trying to find my younger self. He goes, well, I don't know. I mean, you might have to head on down that path right there. Last time I saw him, it's been a little while. And now you're wondering, oh, he hasn't been talking to Sam the squirrel. I used to talk to Sam the squirrel all the time when I was little Marty. So you keep going, and Sam stops. He goes, now hold on. You want to be careful while you're walking in the forest. And you go, no, I've walked through this forest before. I know what I'm doing, Sam. You know, like don't tell me what to do. And Sam goes, well, the forest has changed. Forest is different. You go, how's it different, Sam? He goes, well, you just have to see that, huh? So now you start walking down this path and you start hearing this fantastical music, right? These notes, the sound coming from the forest. And you're trying to find out where it is. Where's it coming from? Is that little Marty trying to call out to me? And you walk down, and you're walking down this path that Sam the squirrel sent you on, and you come across a bear. Oh, it's Benny the bear, right? From your childhood. You remember, this is another one of your imaginary friends that was in the forest. You go, Benny. He kind of looks at you, and he doesn't recognize you. You go, Marty, it's Marty. I just grew up. Do you remember me? Marty. This is my forest. This is my childhood forest. Do you remember? He just looks at you, gives you these eyes. Like he doesn't trust you. Doesn't say anything. And then he just walks away and you go, Benny, where are you going? Come on. What are you doing? You know? And then he looks at you and goes, Marty's been gone for years. You don't bring up Marty in this forest, okay? You don't bring him up. He's been gone. You go, that's silly. Sam the Squirrel. Don't listen to Sam the Squirrel. Nobody listens to Sam the Squirrel anymore. He lost his mind. Didn't you hear? Or were you too busy being an adult? Being a man to care about your imaginary friends, huh? Sam the Squirrel lost his mind. That's right. He lost his mind after you left. Little boy Marty, he just disappeared into the forest. We haven't seen him in forever. It's all because of you. All because of you, grown-up Marty. You ruined this forest. And then he just turns away and he walks away, all angry. I go, wow, I don't know what I did. What did grown-up Marty do to deserve this jeering? What did I do? I just grew up. So you're walking down this path still, and you're so confused. God, what did I do? What did grown-up Marty do? And the forest starts to get quiet, You've been hearing chirping up until now. You've been hearing insects and everything. You go, you know what? I'm going to go see my friend Todd the Tree. Todd the Tree was great. Todd knew everything about the forest. People would walk by, they'd gossip to him, I'm going to go find Todd the Tree. So you're walking this path. Now you're starting to remember where you are. And you see where Todd used to. So you're walking down this path, and you notice it gets cut off at some point. You realize that the forest just ends. You step out and you go, I remember the forest being a lot bigger than this. And then you notice it. All the trees are cut down. The whole forest is cut down. The whole rest of the forest, you just see stumps. Just stumps. Going and going and going. As far as the eye can see. What happened to your forest? What happened to your childhood forest? And what happened to little Marty? So you start calling out, Marty! Marty! You don't hear anything back. So you start walking around the forest. You look for any sign of your little boy self. Where's the little boy? Any sign. And you find your favorite toy. The toy that you liked more than anything else when you were a little boy. There it is. The little boy wouldn't leave without it. Yet here it is. You have to find that little boy. You have to bring him home. You have to bring him home.